Okay, so we are live now. Finally. Had some big issues with my camera, but I believe I got it sorted now. So welcome. My name is Kristaps, and I day trade gold specifically. I've been doing it for 3.5 years. I wouldn't say successfully, so I'm still unprofitable, but I believe this is gonna be part of the journey, which is gonna help me to achieve profitability, and that's why I'm here, to bring some value to you people and to bring some value to myself. So okay, let's go back to gold. We still have 5 minutes for closure. So basically looks like daily we are kind of ranging just between these two. Obviously this candle was yesterday's, it pushed up without no bottom wick and rejected, came down, created the wick and closed inside the range, but that doesn't give us much of information. So 4 hour does look actually really good. You can see we had this yesterday's push for daily lower wick, we ranged, and previous 4 hour closed above previous resistance, created lower wick and just shot up. So this looks perfect for continuing to buy. Let's see on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour we clearly have this resistance, and now we're trying to create a support, but for now we're gonna use this as below. Everything is clean. On 30 minutes, same thing. Buys above, and these sells below this actually will look good. Now let's see. So buys above. What just happened? Buys above, and let's restart it. Something's up with top step, because this popped on and we can't change time frames. What is this? How do I remove it? Honestly, I have no idea what just happened. Okay, we are back. So let's see. So yeah, clearly buys above, closure for this. As we can see, it's clean range to the upside. Downside is a little bit more choppy, but for sells I would need, again, range 2 sells below. And what's this? Why it popped out again? I do not understand, honestly. Okay, hopefully it's not gonna pop again. What is this? Why is it happening every single time I push this button? Okay, we are back. Let's see if it's gonna happen again. I don't understand. Why is this keeps happening? Okay, let's just leave it as it is. I'm not gonna try to do it once more. So yeah, 15 minute, same here, support and a resistance above. So this actually did not look bad 15 minutes ago, but I was busy with my webcam. We could have taken these buys, 120 pips and 80 pip profits. So yeah, it is what it is. This move's already gone, so we just need to wait for buys above or range 2 sells below. I can explain you what is range 2. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna open Zoom for my annotations. Okay, so what I mean by range 2 sells. So if we just close like this, we basically did do a breakout. If this is the closure we're gonna have, but the issue with this is that the 4-hour candle is clearly bullish, so I'm more looking into buys than sells. For me to take sells today, the only option, there's actually 2 options. So this won't be an option. The only way I could take a sell is if this is our closure. Wait, I'll just try to do it. This is the closure, and then the next candle creates a wick, which is not necessary, and then we could take sells because we created small range below this range and broke out of it again, which means range 2. So this is range 1 and this is range 2, same on top. This is range 2, or there is one more option. If you close like this, and let's say the next candle creates a wick, goes down, we just miss the move because this wasn't our move based on experience and chart time. We just leave it, and then the 4-hour is gonna close bearish if this is the closure we get, and then all we wait few candles to go back up, maybe even retest the previous range, and then if we close back below again, this is what we call range 2 sells, because we created lower low, and if we create a new resistance, there's about 80% chance that we are gonna retest this low based on this structure. But just to take a breakout for sales today, that's not gonna be my move. And for buys, for me to take buys today, so it's now 9:19. Let's have a look what this 30 looks like. Yeah, 30 does not does not look ideal. But if we can close bullish above, next candle is gonna create a wick and push up. This would be our entry. It's not ideal because we are not taking buys of support, because clearly our support is down here. So we already have a move. We broke out and we continue. The only way I can take these type of breakouts is if the candle first of all closes close to the previous range. So let's say that this candle closes something like this. Yeah, for me this would be 100% overextended. I would need to wait for a pullback, a new support, let's say a pullback, a new support, and then I could take buys to retest this created resistance, because this would be too overextended for me. So the candle needs to close right next to this range that it broke out as close as possible. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. We just wait for a pullback, because based on the data I have gathered over the last few years, these trades, even though it's volume time, these trades tend to not work out. They look good because this looks like gonna be daily high, 4-hour high, 1 hour, all the highs broken, volume time, but I've seen it so many times that I just do not take these types of breakouts anymore. So let's see, we still have 7 minutes to go. Yeah, but these buys were legit. I was looking at them, but then my stream crashed, and yeah, ideally this is where we would want to put our stop loss, 150 pips, and the target would be 75, so that's 0.5 risk to reward, which is too low. Ideally we want at least 0.8, 0.9. 1-to-1 is perfect, but I'm okay with negative risk to reward ratio as long as my win rate stays higher than 50%. Because for now, in the last year, our win rate was 54% based on, I think, 150 or 200 trades. So we basically broke even, maybe a little bit in profits based on pips. Because if you're basing it on money, then we're definitely down due to the risk management. The more expensive trades just went to stop loss, and the less riskier, not riskier, but the trades where we had less risk on just went to take profit. So it is what it is. We're just gonna keep stabbing until we achieve what we set ourselves up. Actually, yesterday our stream, so let's see, we still have 5 minutes. Yeah, that's perfect. So yesterday, where was yesterday? So this was yesterday. This was the range we were in, and if you look at 4:30, we did made a breakout. The 4-hour closed bearish, 1 hour closed bearish below this previous support, 30 closed below this whole previous range, and you see it did actually pop down, but it came back up and left us a wick to fill. Otherwise, if this candle closed down here, there's no more trade for us because we are too overextended by that point. And 15, just gorgeous. It created a small low, went back to the range to retest it, closed below, which, so the most important thing for this candle was that it closed below, which means the 30 and 1 hour closed below as well. And that's when we executed our sells yesterday. This was our yesterday's trade, something like this. This was our break-even partials point. Again, this thing popped up, and yeah, it just popped down, so we just closed 120 pip profit, like $1,500, which is just perfect for the first day. I can't ask for much more than that. Again, we need to reload this. Okay, so let's see. So that was yesterday's W, just perfect. That's what I call an A+ setup. Now I don't see any A+ setups forming, at least in the next 4 minutes, and there's nothing the candle needs to do for it to create an A+ setup. With these cells, if we create resistance, now we are just in the middle of a range. I would not be able to take this trade for us to come back down. I know it's volume time, because volume is gonna push one way or another, with me or without. But for me, yeah, this move already happened. This was the move. And now the next move is gonna be above or below. The only thing how could we potentially take sells again is if, let's say, this candle closes like this, and then the next one pops up, rejects, and closes back inside the range, and we have clean range to come back down, and this would be the only option for me to take a sell. I can't take a sell in the middle of this range, if that makes sense. Same happened yesterday at open. We opened literally in the middle of a range, so I just waited and waited for my A+ setup. It took it 45 more minutes, and we did get it. So let's see. 1 more minute left. Is there gonna be a closure, or we will just need to continue to wait? Any viewers? No, no viewers, no viewers. So let's wait 45 more seconds. If we have no closure, I'm gonna show you one more potential trade we had yesterday and why we did not take it, which would be actually a good lesson. "15 seconds, doesn't look like we're gonna get our closure. Yeah, there is nothing, because 1 hour is bearish, and we already created a top wick. 30 minutes is bullish. 15, yeah, has created a resistance, but this is not for me. So I'll explain you what I was looking at yesterday. So this was the initial sales for us. We took profits. Then I just left the desk, let the market breathe, do its thing. So the market popped down and it started to creep back up. But as you can see, the first candle was strong bullish. The second one was a little bit weaker. This one even more weaker. Small bottom wick, almost no bottom wick. Same here, almost no bottom wick. And then we had a really weak closure. When we closed like this, very weak, I waited for this candle to create a small top wick, because this was, oh no, this was an hourly closure, so we waited for top wick to be created. And when we had this 1 hour, this 1 hour bullish candle mostly filled the wick to the upside, I put my sell stops below this low. I waited for like 10 minutes, nothing happened, and in the last 20 seconds of this 15-minute candle, it just drove down and closed with no bottom wick. And that's an invalid setup, because we do not take trades which do not have bottom wicks. Why? Because wick is a range for the next candle to go, to continue its direction. And if there is no wick, there is no range. It does not mean that it's not gonna go down. It just means that the probability is less for it to come down than I would love for me to take a trade. As far as you can see, it did close. It did push down, but did not push all the way. So yeah, this was the idea, which I was really looking into it yesterday. But with this closure, there is nothing I can do. Just stick to the plan and execute trades. That's all I'm here for. Yeah, and now gold is just doing nothing. The volume is dumping in, but we do not see it yet. So we just need to wait for buys above, ideally, because 4 hour is gonna close in half an hour, and if it closes bullish, then just perfect. And if 1 hour can create a new support, close above, 30-minute close above, and 15 close above this with a brand new support, that would be an A+ setup. But we need to wait for it. And trading is a waiting game, at least how I trade. Because if we look, I'll open up my docs. Oh, I did not. Oh, I forgot to journal my yesterday's trade. Okay, let's do it now together then. Just so you understand how I journal my trades. So this was a trade, and then I always put a text, just so I understand what high time frame candles have been doing. So daily was bullish, so I just put down daily bullish. 4 hour closed bearish. 1 hour closed bearish below support. 30-minute closed bearish below support, and 15-minute was weak bullish, and our entry was 4-hour low. And that's basically how I explained to myself what was the trade we took. It was it was 10:15 Easter Standard Time, I think. What time was it? Yeah, 10:15. That was 10:15 on the 9th of April. Gold sell setup type. It says onion because the person who created this calls these setups onions. I just call them sell of resistance or buy of support. And then we took on the break of previous. Oh no, this is actually 15 celery. So yeah, let's do it that way. So time frame 15 minute. Full. Yeah, the picture was 15 minute. So how many pips we got in total? So we closed partials at 80 and in total 120. Yeah, around 120 pips. So we just put 120 and it's a W. So far in this month, 1 W and 1 break even, which ain't the worst. Okay, again we have this, so let's see. That's why we do not take random cells in the middle of range, even if we have volume. Just because the price created resistance and there's a clean range, it does not mean it's a good setup. That's why, as I explained yesterday, we need few things for a setup to be valid. Where was this mouse? On this. So number one, obviously we need a setup. That's number one. Like a breakout or buys of support or sells of resistance, and that's a setup. The second thing we need is clear range. Clear. Okay, I'm just gonna do R. R stands for range. I cannot write. We need clear range, which means consecutive candles going one way like this. This was a clear range created. So that's why our buys are above this support. Because above this we have clear range up to here. Third thing which we need is volume. Just to be volume. What do I mean by volume? We need to be trading at high volume times. Like now. Now is the best time to actually trade because it's the most highest volume time. New York Open, news, New York Stock Exchange Open, London Open, Asian Open. There's many times over the course of the day when we have high volume, and now is one of them. And then the fourth, which potentially is the most important, most important of them all, is higher time frame correlation to lower time frame. What I mean by that, by example, let's take a look at these potential cells. If you look at these cells, number one, setup. Do we have a setup? Yeah, 15 minutes just created new resistance, which is cells of resistance, which is a setup. Is there a clean range? Yeah, I would say there is enough. There's 130, 150 pips of clear range for us to go down. Is it volume time? Yes, because it was New York Stock Exchange open. So why it didn't work out? Because of rule number 4, higher time frame to lower time frame confirmation. Because if you look at the 4-hour, we are clearly bullish. That's just the first sign that high time frame says buys. Go, we are bullish. 1-hour. 1-hour did create resistance, but again, we've been pushing up so much, created resistance and just continue to push up. And 30-minute had a support. Oh, sorry, not a support, but it closed bullish. So there was basically almost no other time frame which said that we can take a sell, just the 15-minute. And we can't base our trades just on one time frame. That's how we can achieve maybe 40-50% win rate, but that's not gonna make us profitable. So all of these 4 things, they need to align for us to actually take a trade. Because if we look at yesterday's trade, we had a setup which was a I think it was 15 celery, or we can say 30 breakout. Yeah, let's change it. It was a breakout. So 30 breakout, we had a setup. Did we had a range? Yeah, our range was like massive, like 1000 pips or something. Yeah, like let's say 500 pips at least. That's check. Volume. Was it on a high volume time? Yes, because it was 45 minutes after the New York Stock Exchange open. And that's the high time frame correlated with lower time frame. 4-hour close bearish, which means we're looking more for sells. 1-hour close bearish below support, same again, looking for sells. 30-minute close below range, again sells. And 15-minute, just beautiful, popped up, close below with a small wick and just pushed down. Because let's say if this wick would be much bigger, I would not be able to enter. I would need to wait for this candle to close and then potentially enter on this. So we just had a recipe for an A+ setup, which we executed and we got over W. But again, we waited yesterday maybe 2-3 hours in New York session, but that's not obviously the whole picture, because actually I waited since 1st of April. So we're gonna see calendar. 1st of April, from since last Thursday, I took a trade. So Thursday, Friday. Oh no, Friday was Big Friday, so it wasn't. It was a bank holiday. So basically 1 day, 2 days, 2.5 days. I was waiting for this setup. I trade London and New York. So basically there was not a single trade over the course of the week in London and nothing in New York. And just yesterday we got the trade, which we are happy about, because on average, let's say March, we took 8 trades, so 2 trades a week. February was a little bit more, but it was quite a bad month. We took 14 trades. Again, 3 to 4 trades a week, based on trading two sessions. And January obviously we just started beautiful. W after W after W. The only thing, these 2 break-evens, those were break-evens just due to my fear. You can see Our text did not follow the plan, emotional BE, and got hit. So basically I was not ready to lose, and I just emotionally went BE to cut the risk down. And it got me at BE and went to take profits. And unfortunately, same thing happened here again. The 4-hour open closed manual after getting entered in and price jumped 20 pips. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember this one. Because most of the times when I see these jumps in prices, they just tend to not work. But this time, it did. At least took out our partials. Let's see what else we took in January. Yeah, perfect. As you can see, we had a downtrend, but I believe the 4-hour was still bullish, wasn't it? Yeah, so daily was bullish, 4-hour was bullish. So we're basically looking for buys. 1 hour created, oh no, 1 hour was bearish, my apologies. 30-minute created inverted celery. What's an inverted celery? It's candle like this. And we're going down and we close weak bullish. We call it inverted celery or just a weak bullish candle. And then 15 created celery, which is what we did now. An entry was 4-hour high. So it means that the candle closed bullish, it created a bottom wick, and we took our entries, buys of support, and entry was 4-hour high. And as you can see, we closed full. Looks like very early for whatever reason, I do not remember anymore. So okay, we have a closure. Let's speak about it. So as you can see, we did close. Let me just quickly remove this. We did close above, which we are waiting for clearly, as you can see, buys above. But as we discussed previously, we actually drew out what just happened. Now, what we need to wait are few candles which are gonna come down. Ideally, retest this range, create a new support with or without rejection, honestly. And then we can take buys going back up. This would be entry, stop loss, take profit. That's what I am waiting for now, because we are already too overextended. And the 4-hour hasn't even closed yet as well. That's very important, because it's last 12 minutes of our 4-hour candle. And what do you see by looking at candles? That most of these candles have top and bottom wicks, which means what is the possibility with this breakout that our 4-hour candle wants to push up and actually close without a wick? I would say it's quite a low possibility, so I wouldn't take this trade no matter what, because I am expecting this 4-hour to pull back to close with the top wick for us to, for the next 4-hour candle to have a range to continue pushing up. So everything is starting to look good. We just need to wait for these closures, which could take 15 to 30 minutes. We'll see. I can see that we have one viewer. So who is... How can I see the chat? Can I text myself? Hello. Okay, so how do I see my chat? I have no idea. I'm just figuring it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. Where do I see? YouTube live control panel. But where can I see the YouTube chat? I have no idea. I completely forgot that we are looking at silver as well. It collaborates a lot with gold, obviously, because silver and gold are both precious metals and they move quite similar. So the 4 hour, same. As we can see, we are gonna create a beautiful bullish 4 hour candle. But that's gonna be 9 minutes. 1 hour doing the same, just pushing up as gold. There's not much we can do. But if we look at the 30-minute, this actually just played out, because we had buys above on gold, same as here, buys above. But look how this candle closed and how closed our gold candle, which was already halfway up. So this actually was a potential setup, but I don't want to say we missed it, but we forgot that we are trying to include silver in our day-to-day trading. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, this looked this was money. 15 closed above and 30 closed above on New York Stock Exchange open, and they just pushed straight to take profit. Just perfect. So yeah, there's not much we could have done anyways, but this would be a nice sample trade for silver. Okay, there's gonna be next one's always coming. Gold is starting to actually set up, which is good. Now we just need this candle to close, next one to create a new support. So if next one does this, then it means that 4 hour is gonna close bullish and leave us a wick. And this is a big thing. Let's say it leaves us a wick and we actually get a closure like I just drew out. We can easily see this happening on the next candle, because candles love to fill wicks, especially on high volume times. So if 4 hour closes in 6 minutes and our 15-minute candle creates a new support, then we can take buys of support, because we're gonna have clear range, higher to lower time frame correlation, volume, and a setup. So everything is gonna be there. All we need to do now is wait, and everything else what's happening in the market is just noise. That's why we don't react on the market. We just wait for the market to come to us and present exactly what's our plan and nothing else. Because when you start doing some random things, you just lose your, how to say it, consistency, your probability as well. Because I know how a 70 to 80% setup looks like. And there's a big difference between 50% and 70%. So five more minutes. I still don't know how to open my YouTube chat. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see. So how do we open this chat? Let's ask ChatGPT. Open live chat, 3 dots, pop out chat. Copy the URL from that pop out window. Okay, open OBS Studio. In sources, click add. Choose browser. Browser. YouTube chat. Okay. Paste the pop-out chat here in URL field. And just set width 300 and height 700. Click OK. Okay, let's leave it like this for now. At least if someone wants to chat, we can see their messages. So we have 2 minutes for disclosure. The 4 hours gonna close beautifully bullish. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be back. I just need some water. My apologies, I am back. I can see that we have 2 viewers, but is anybody in the chat? So we just closed on the 4 hour, nicely bullish. So nothing changes, our plan stays the same. 1 hour did our breakout, which is perfect. 30-minute broke out as well. The only time frame which is uncorrelated is now 15. As soon as we get the 15 support, ideally we retest this range, and then we can take some buys to fill in this wick. So we need to wait another 15 minutes. What is 15 minutes when you've been waiting all day for a move? If we ignore the 15, this actually does not look bad, but we need a bigger wick, because this already might have been our pullback. Because everything closed above 1 hour, 30 minutes, and it closed nicely close to the previous range. As we spoke before, we cannot take trades which close far from the range. But if we close to the range, then we can at least use this wick fill as our target. But as the 4 hour just opened up, it's been 2 minutes, we need to let it breathe a little bit. I do not like taking trades on 4 hour open, just for the sake of we have no idea where it's gonna create its bottom wick. Because this candle, it can go, red. It can go all the way down, and we're still gonna be bullish. I'm still gonna be looking for buys, even if we are down here. So we do not know where this wick is gonna go, and what are the chances that the wick which we just created, in 2 minutes, what are the chances that that's gonna be the wick for this 4 hour candle? So that's why we stay away at least first few minutes of the 4 hour candle open. Ideally we wait for another 15 minutes before we take a trade when our 4 hour has just opened. There are times when I'm gonna ignore this rule, but it's not gonna be this time. Now we need this proper lower wick for us to have a better chance of going up all the way, because our range is still insane. 4 hour can still go up like 500 pips. So what are the chances that this 20 pip wick is gonna be everything for 4 hour? Obviously it can do. It did it here, very small wick, and just popped up. But for me, I need more than this. If it would be just the 15 minute, then I don't need a big wick. Let's say if we take a trade at 10:15, which is when 4 hours closed, 1 hour closed 15 minutes before, half an hour. So all these are still open, and they already have created their wicks. And if the 15 closes, and I don't need a big wick for me to enter if there is a setup, just because all the high time frames have already created one. But for now we just need to wait 10 more minutes. Trading is a very, very boring game. And when you're actually starting to be bored while you trade, you know that you are going on the right direction. Because it shouldn't be exciting. You shouldn't be jumping up and down when you're winning a trade. You shouldn't be crying your eyes out when you lose a trade. Because the more you celebrate your wins, the more you're gonna feel bad on your losses. So you need to try and just keep neutral. Obviously it's easier said than done, but that's might take you years to actually achieve. I'm still not there, and I think it's very rare to get to that point when you literally just don't care. You just execute the setup and just move on with your day. Because most of the days, if you're a trader, you just sit and wait, which obviously is boring. So that's why I thought I'm gonna start stream. Otherwise you're just sitting and doing nothing, just waiting, getting distracted by all these different things which are not necessarily better for you. So that's why I thought I'm gonna start streaming, so at least I'm focused on the charts for these 2 hours. I can actually enjoy it, because otherwise I was kind of stuck in a loop, just doing the same thing every single day and nothing was changing. And that just makes sense, because nothing can change if nothing changes. So that's why I thought that it is gonna be a good idea to start and stream. And there's some value I can give as well. It's obviously quite hard to start because I've never in my life spoken to camera or spoken to myself as I do now. It feels very uncomfortable. I feel kind of stupid, but I think every single person who started streaming just went through the same thing. I'm not anything special, so we are all the same. Same like people are afraid to go to the gym because they're gonna feel like beginners or losers. But that's every single person who is going to the gym understands that they all were in the same position and they just went through it, and day by day they started to build the confidence of them actually stepping into the gym and doing the work, and that takes weeks, months, years. And same with streaming. Now I feel like I'm just in such a different environment than I'm used to, but that's okay. I'm gonna fail and I'm gonna fail again, but as long as I continue and stay consistent and enjoy the process as well, that's a very, very important thing, to actually enjoy the process, not dread it. So let's see, 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close, and potentially I'm gonna wait for the next one as well with you guys, because we still have some potential. But now we're gonna need to wait more. It's always a waiting game. Yeah, everything does look good for buys. But it might not happen now. It might not happen at all. But we need to be ready when the setup comes to execute. So let's say this 15 closes above. Just give me a second. Closes above this. I wouldn't still take it. Just because we're in an uptrend, we're bullish, and we closed above support. I would not take it just due to the fact that our 4-hour candle has a very small bottom wick, and I believe it's gonna come down to actually create it. That would be ideal, because it can even do like this. It can come down even more and still respects our previous 4-hour low. It doesn't need to respect it, but if it does, and then let's say we just create a new support, because we know everything is bullish, so we can take a trade on this on next support. But again, that's gonna take half an hour, maybe 1 hour, so it's a waiting game. So yeah, if this close is just bullish, I think that's gonna be it for today, because I don't believe that we cannot get anything on the next candle, so it's gonna be a longer wait or just a no trade day, which I'm okay with, as long as I stuck to my plan, executed with confidence. That's all it matters. There is a trade, there's no trade, there's a win, there's a loss, there's a break even. That should not matter, because the long-term results are gonna show if I stick to the plan, if I execute properly, if I stay consistent. Nothing else really matters, because the market is gonna move, the market is gonna do whatever it wants to do. We cannot change it, and we don't even need to know what market is gonna do next for us to make money. As long as we have data which backs up our strategy, basically that it's a profitable, as long as we have that, all we need to do is keep the plan, stay true to the plan, be consistent and disciplined to the plan, and just take playbook setups. It's really that simple, but us as humans, we overcomplicate it. So yeah, we're gonna have not the best closure, but that's nothing to fear of, because there's an abundance of trades coming. We miss this one, there's a next one coming. And if we miss the next one, we know that there's gonna be another one coming. So you cannot miss a trade if you know that the next one is coming. So yeah, guys, we have this closure. All we need to do is wait for a new support for the 4-hour to create a bottom wick, and then we can continue pushing up. So let's see. I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna still be at the desk, and if something pops off, I'm gonna put it in a Discord, and we'll see. So yeah, guys, take care. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Running around. You keep on running around. I've had enough of these games. 100 gram.
Run around, got a lot fools. And I still got the crown like a bad tooth. I am cool, I don't gotta act cool. Just follow where I lead you, pack mule. Blowing through the budget, the cash ain't nothing. The way I flip back, straight tens from the judges. Yeah, I'm the too big, can't flush it. Probably gotta plunge it. Word is, this 10 years in the making. Word is, I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is, they don't see what it take to make it. But the word on the streets, I make it look easy. I'm flattering, cool, way too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. I'm actually smooth, it's far too easy. Word on the streets, I make it look easy. Easy, 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 too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. Too easy. Make it look easy, but it's not easy. Whip got wings, yeah, I feel like Ron Weasley. Live like kings, so the money ain't measly. Hits like Sting, honey, you cannot beat me. Did it so casual, must be a natural. Heard him say, yeah, it was gradual, but it's diagonal going up. Me and the capital super compatible, got me like, let's go. Gotta hop in my step, gotta bounce in my walk. Rubber bands from the check, it was more than I thought. Fresh press, squeaky clean, wide awake, what a dream. Hey there, hi, hello, what's the word, baby? Tell me you know, cause I know that the word is this 10 years in the making. Word is, I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is, they don't see what it take to make it. But the word on the streets, I make it look easy. I'm flattering, cool, way too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. I'm actually smooth, it's far too easy. Word on the streets, I make it look easy. Easy.